Hello. Today let's look at Jesus the man. Jesus. He was a man. He was also the Christ. He was God on earth. But today let's look at him as a man. He was subject to the stresses just like everybody else. Um, Things affected him very much like they do just anybody. There's one occasion I want to read to you from Matthew, the 14th chapter. And the first part of the chapter talks about John the Baptist. And John and Jesus were relatives, apparently, of some sort. And Jesus knew John, and John was his forerunner. John was the one to announce the coming of the Christ. And in the first 11 chapters, it talks about the way John died. And then in verse 12 of Matthew chapter 14, it says, "And his disciples came and took the body and buried it, and they went and told Jesus. Now when Jesus heard this, he withdrew from there in a boat to a desolate place by himself." Why did he go away? What was he going to do? Well, we get an idea that he was probably stressed. And in Matthew, Mark, and Luke, we have examples of other times that Jesus went to a desolate place, meaning desolate meaning out by himself where there were not other people. In Matthew, again in the 14th chapter, later on, after he has fed the 5,000 men and others, you probably know the story. After that, and after he dismissed the crowd, he went up on the mountain by himself to pray. Why did he do that? Probably because he was tired and he needed to connect with the Father. Again, in Mark, the first chapter, around verse 35, just prior to this, he had spent the evening before healing and teaching and dealing with a lot of people. And in fact, it says the whole city was gathered together, it seemed like. And then, arising very early in the morning while it was still dark, he departed and went out to a desolate place, and there he prayed. When he was stressed, he needed to rejuvenate. And then in Luke, the 5th chapter, and this time he had been pressured by large crowds, great crowds gathered. But he would withdraw to desolate places and pray. So back to this place in Matthew, the 14th chapter, verse 13. When Jesus heard about John's death, he withdrew to a desolate place. I think there he went to commune with God the Father, like he had done other times. So let's look at his example. When things stress us, it's okay to withdraw, go to a place where there's no one else. But like Jesus, let's pray, let's talk to the Father, and then go back and continue our work, just like he did. So, until next time, the Lord bless you and keep you.